This game lost 98% of its players. They're tweaking its gas by TheRussianBadger.
If I told you that a game had lost 98% of its players, would you want to play that game? What if I told you the player count had skyrocketed by 55 times over the last 18 months? Would you want to play that game? These are the kinds of binary statements that I am bombarded with all the time when deciding which games I will and won't play. My issue is that both of these statements are technically true, but incredibly misleading, with cherry-picked data that isn't telling you the whole story. That's a free weekend, dog. Don't count that number. Which is why, in today's video game market, I refuse to listen to anybody else but myself. The boomer.
Dude, 100% though. Like, I 100% agree with that standpoint. If you want to like a game, if you want to like something, right? Look, I like Elite Dangerous. Is Elite Dangerous necessarily the most popular game out there? No. Is it necessarily the most user-friendly game out there, especially that engineering grind? No. But if you like it, right? I have notoriously said I like RE5. A lot of people, rightfully, don't like Resident Evil 5. They say it's a bad Resident Evil game. I still like Resident Evil 5. I think it's great co-op in and out, drop in, drop out, right? Like what you want. That should be perfectly fine. Now, if you're coming from a disingenuous standpoint, absolutely. Like, well, you're just hating Halo Infinite. No, I dislike Halo Infinite, especially currently, because of several factors, including split-screen co-op being promised and then redacted later. We have netcode since launch that has been an issue. I personally take a lot of issues with how the campaign system was set up, and I wanted more campaign in the installments, but, you know, we never got that. Number of reasons why I can say that. I mean, sure, it's defensible. And if you're trying to make a bad faith argument, sure, but that's bad faith argument, anything. I like this logic. Just play a game because you want to play the game. What a novel concept.
Are using too many sensationalized headlines that are probably AI. The Zoomers are using too many oversimplified words and sometimes letters like cooked, mid, L8, slop.
More slop, please. My bowl is out.
These words tell me nothing. These player counts tell me nothing. Like, remember Tab G? That game had like 200 concurrent players. That was absolutely a dead game. But that shit was gas, Batman. Am I getting feedback on the chip in my hand?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, God, I am. Ooh,
nice.
That's bad. So when my homie Badda told me that 2042 had a major glow-up and was worth trying out again, I just had to re-enter the world of Battlefield and experience it for myself.
Yo, I thought we were doing a world tour. Why are we playing 2042?
Because it's part of the world, dickhead.
What's so bad about it that players left? What's so good about it that some players came back? And when you mix all the good and all the bad together, is it any fun?
I was playing Medic a moment ago.
3, goodbye.
The short answer is yes, it is fun. If you want to skip this whole last video and ruin my ad revenue, that's fine. But that,
Oh, it's definitely not happening. We're watching the full thing, and I do encourage you, even if you have already watched this. There was a tweet that Badger sent out, and it was something about, like, please watch the video. I want to pursue my other passions or something like that. I do encourage you. Watch the original video again, and again, and again. It would be really funny if we blew this video up to 10 mil plus. It's just... That is how you mobilize online people, right? That is how you get people to do something really cool and honestly very positive, right? Lot of negativity on the internet nowadays. Good God, man, that is a way to make a positive impression, a positive, lasting impact.
With a whole lot of nuance, a whole lot of exceptions, a whole lot of but, because when it's good, it's very good. And when it's bad, it's very bad.
So
All right, I guess Battlefield's kind of cool.
Oh, fuck, I hate this game, dude. God, fucking damn it.
So if you'd like to hear about this nuance and all the messy details of this Battlefield brought back to life, I invite you to hear me out.
Nice.
Shout out Guacamole Gamer Fart 9000 for making this video possible. It's a tiny scoop you add to water with 100 milligrams of caffeine and is dirt cheap at less than 50 cents per serving. That's cheaper than fentanyl. Why haven't you bought this shit yet? Pretend this gun isn't here and use code BADGER for 10% off the link below, and I'll donate 100% of the profits to my personal bank account. Oh, no riffraff. Let's fucking go. Battlefield.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 ad read. I loved it. It matched with the source material. I couldn't even notice the transition into the ad read until it happened. Audio was consistent, visuals were consistent, product that matches the video, right? The general things we look along. Honestly, 10 out of 10. I liked it. I thought it was a perfect ad read.
2042 with... I kind of like the gun in my left hand. Yeah, that's cool. Battlefield 2042 was released in November 2021, and the launch was a disaster.
Yeah.
We're talking tech issues with game crashes, bugs, and server instability. Missing core features like a scoreboard, voice chat, and they even did away with the class system in favor of a specialist system, like this is some kind of hero shooter now. The maps were too big and too empty, as if the whole game was one giant Death Stranding reference to walking, and it was painfully lacking in content players did want, and chock full of content players didn't want. Like the
So here's the thing, though, is that's actually was the old Battlefield argument back in my day, back in the olden days of Xbox 360. I say that half satirically. Back in the day, I mean, the argument was Call of Duty versus Battlefield, and the argument that I always heard was Call of Duty is better for those close quarters encounters. Think, Rust, right? Going into Black Ops, Nuketown, stuff like that, right? And we go to Battlefield. Battlefield has kind of been pitched as that more long-form engagement, right? Battlefield Bad Company 2, a lot of memories of sniping people across the Alaskan map, right? Having to accommodate for bullet drop and stuff. The fact that the game has a bullet drop system should kind of indicate thematically where the game is leaning into. And so that was the big divide, right? Call of Duty did that more close quarters engagement kind of thing. You got people with, Lightweight Marathon Pro, Commando Pro, UMP 45, I think it was the revolver, right? The 44 Magnum, going around Modern Warfare 2. You also had the quick scopers and stuff, but quick scoping only really works. Yes, it can work over long distances, but the whole concept of quick scoping is that you are quickly aiming to be wherever the center of your screen is at. So generally kind of works towards more close engagements. Having environmental destruction, bullet drop, the way that Battlefield was structured, especially Bad Company 2, was more towards that larger map. I think what we're seeing here is a complete disconnect from management, certain people in places making decisions of, well, big equals good, right? Well, not necessarily. You have to fill your world with something. The way Elden Ring works is that all the encounters were spaced just enough apart. That way, if you had a giant chasing you, by the time you got to, say, an invasion, or by the time you got to another group of enemies, you were kind of out. So, it did feel empty to a degree, and it made sense thematically, but it did have stuff. They were just spaced out, encounter-wise, spaced out appropriately, so that you're not really dragging one into the other on a normal basis, right? So it's interesting to kind of see this brought up, because this is something that I've thought about a lot and had some conversations on, and I think Battlefield could totally capitalize on a large-scale FPS game.
extraction mode hazard zone, because what if every game was just Tarkov?
Hey, keep streaming Tarkov to the Discord, bro. It's so cool. Keep streaming it. We love it. We think it's so awesome, man. Oh my God, you're using the M1A again? That's awesome. That's amazing. Oh my God, keep going. Yes, I care so much about your woods run. Yeah, kill Glue Car. Yeah, keep. Oh my God, Posse. You're so. Hey, put on the pain every time you die. Shut up, bro.
To top
Amazing.
all of this off, the response to these issues from EA was laughable, and it became yet another reminder to never pre-order a game, especially one from a AAA developer, and never tweet while you're going through some shit, dog. Press N.
No, 100%. The thing that killed pre-order for me was Pokemon Sun and Moon, actually. There was supposed to be a double pack with a Steelbook, and I was supposed to order it from a GameStop. And this is not throwing GameStop on blast. This is throwing the pre-order system on blast. I made sure multiple times that I'd be getting the double pack as a Steelbook. To which, seemingly at random, as the date crept closer, that was changed to no longer be a Steelbook double pack. That is outside of GameStop's control, right? That is going to be from that's more like TPCI, Pokemon Company International, Nintendo even, right? That's kind of more on them, and I think their logistical and shipping side of things, to which really, that kind of killed the pre-order thing for me. And now there's many horror stories out there of pre-orders going south, games being completely buggy, the beta, quote unquote, being affected with the final release product is, and the final release product is just broken. It's unserviceable. It's slop, right? So I agree. Like that, I think people could see that as a hot take from Badger. I think that that's completely reasonable, and I think that there's more than enough evidence that if pre-order culture wants to come back in a big way, or even in any acceptable standard, companies have to put out. We are consumers, right? Yes, there are absolutely diehard fans. People are going to buy Call of Duty every year, bar none, right? People will buy the next Battlefield entry, bar none, right? People will buy a series just to buy the series. However, to those that are kind of on the fence, like, cool, talk to us, right? Cool, make it worth my time. I am a consumer. Why is your product worth my time?
Button, but the fucking tweet button. I got my own fair share of flack when I made a video on the beta saying I didn't care it was a mess because I was having fun and Battlefield games always launch in an unfinished state. But now that the time has passed and the dust has settled, it's safe to say that the release was a failure and the game lost 98% of its players in 6 months.
So here's the thing: there's such a disconnect with that, and that those comments always throw me off. Like, there's such a disconnect in someone saying something as, hey, I don't care if it's a mess, I'm having fun with it, to Lamau top 10 lowest games, or I guess lowest 10 games. It's like, okay, like what is the point? Like, people are allowed to have opinions, and as long as they're educated on their opinions, Badger, coming across as someone who's literally done prior Battlefield videos, right? If he's like, yeah, I don't really care, I'm having fun, sure, let him have fun, let him have his opinion. Right, and obviously there's those, you know, good faith, you know, kind of jokes, right? Like you talking to your buddy and you're just like, yeah, I bet you like that ammo brand, right? You're jabbing each other, like, that's fine, right? It always falls into the weird, like, you have an opinion, you dare have an opinion on thing, writes dissertation on why that opinion is wrong, right? And it's honest. That's honestly why. When I start doing Warhammer 40k reactions again, my permanent title is the permanent tourist. I'm on nobody's side because I'm a tourist looking to learn things. I don't care. Well, Kip, why do you like Red Scorpions? Why don't you like this faction? I don't know. I'm just a tourist. I'm just learning things. It is the ultimate defense.
Low point of around 2,000 players, it has crawled its way back to around 10,000 players as we're recording this footage, and finding full servers is no problem. And the first day I started playing 2042, I could feel that the Battlefield magic was still alive. It doesn't matter what the player count is, it's still there.
He's low as shit, dude.
Let me hit him with a goose up. Watch this shit. Watch this shit. Watch this shit.
Do it.
Money!
Nice, dog.
To me, the beauty of Battlefield is that it always feels like chess when your average shooter feels like checkers. Of course, it's a little more chaotic than your ordinary chess game.
What the fuck?
But it's still a chess game nonetheless. Even if you're up against somebody with superior aim and reflexes, there's always the option to outthink, outplay, outmaneuver, or downright out-silly your opponent.
Thing up here and just disappear. Get dunked on, fucker!
I don't think your average FPS player understands just how much stupid shit you can do to win a game of Battlefield. Launching a TV missile into the other team's spawn right off the rip is just the tip of the iceberg.
All right, here we go. Okay, don't even think, just launch. Oh, where you at, fucker? Where you at, fucker? Yeah, baby!
As somebody that loves the Javelin from old Modern Warfare 2, and oh boy, I used that thing excessively. It's not good, let's be real. My crowning achievement was my first blood triple kill with that Javelin. I'm so sad that my Xbox 360 could never record that. I didn't have a capture card at the time. Absolute just crowning moment in my short FPS career. Like, that stuff, that's great. And I like the modularity of that. I didn't even know this weapon existed till literally this video. That's something that I would be sold on, 100%. I'd sit in the back line, whatever ammo, get back ammo that I need to do, right? Whatever I need to, with a scavenger. I don't know enough about 2042 and how to get back ammo like that, especially rockets. But I would do that. I'd sit in the back line all day. I would absolutely be cheesing kills.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
The amount of stupid shit you can use in 2042 has exploded with the addition of specialists that each have their own unique way of cheesing the enemy.
I can block tank shells, right? Fuck you. I blocked it, dude. It worked.
But you gotta be careful, because just saying the word specialists is dangerous. Your diehard Battlefield players hate specialists. If you see some nasty-ass comment on the internet about how much somebody hates 2042, odds are it has something to do with the specialists.
Playing this game is less enjoyable than letting a radioactive flavored rat climb up the exit hole.
From what I can gather, this school of thought thinks it turns Battlefield into a hero shooter, it betrays the traditional 4-class system, they screw up the game's balance, they decrease team play, and overall do not fit the Battlefield mold. Now granted,
so he has brought up every single point, and I do like this. He comes from a very educated standpoint. He has brought up every single point of dismissal against the system, against the operator system that I have heard. I'm very curious on his take.
Most of this criticism is coming from Reddit, which can be an overly negative place that I try to treat like Dagoth Ur and not take too seriously.
And his greatest insult is just like, motherfucker, you're on Reddit.
But to their credit, there were some compelling points to their argument. With the specialist system, each class has a ton more variety, but a whole lot less identity. And Battlefield thrives off of that magical synergy between 4 separate classes, each doing their own unique jobs, from spotting to healing to resupplying to blowing shit up.
It's going around the blue container. It's on the right side of B right now.
Executing somebody. Come here, bitch. Dang, got him with the TV missile.
Yes,
Quad, baby.
Since release, they have reintroduced the 4-class system by shoving each operator into a role that shares a common gadget and a weapon proficiency buff specific to their class, like assaults getting extra assault rifle magazines and recons getting constant steady scope. This may be closer to classic Battlefield, but with each specialist having their own unique gadget and their own unique trait, that means dozens of different options for stupid shit you can use for stupid reasons.
Come here, dog.
Okay.
Yes, with the grappling hook, baby.
So I think he's going with more of less of a, these are X amount of individual operators, and this is more or less a like a down flow chart a little bit, where you have each of the prior classes, assault, recon. I always forget what the 4 classes are. I do apologize. It's been a while since I've actually even touched Battlefield. I want to just, once again, hearing all those arguments, no one I know really plays Battlefield. But this is one of those things that I look at. And he's looking at, okay, so these 4 classes, say assault can be, you know, divided into assault A, assault B, assault C, A, B, C being the operator of choice. They all kind of feed back into that assault mentality, or recon A, B, C, and D, right? And they all feed back into that recon identity. And I think that there's something there. I think that that could improve upon the formula, but it depends if we're going full on operator. I don't know. When I play, what little Call of Duty, modern Call of Duty I played, I love Zemo, right? Zemo being just really funny operator, right? Just make me play, John Call of Duty. Let me play like Zemo. Maybe make Zemo his like actual like call sign or something, or his nickname for his unit, right? But we're posing edit stuff like that. I don't know. Just an excuse to talk about Zemo. Anyways, but like going on and talking about just how to structure that, like even if you make it as you are John Battlefield or John Call of Duty, but you are assault A, assault B, C, assault D, right? Making them all kind of branch off of assault. And even then you can make like assault functions like it did in prior games. But then you get into A, B, C, and D, and it has a specific emphasis on assault, right? So, okay, all assaults say get more assault magazines, right? But then you play assault B, and it's like, well, you have an extra 50% magazine on top of that, but your other things maybe have a little bit of a nerf to them, right? So I think you can introduce some specialization there without really costing the core identity. And it also, I think, would appeal to some of the older fans as well, because now you have the 4 standard structure. You're not assigning everyone a specific operator. You are just insert John Call of Duty, John Battlefield, as people have known it and people say that they want back. And then you have subsidiaries of each of these classes that allow you to specialize in specific facets. So say you want recon, right? But you don't ever want your scope to move. Okay, go like recon D. Recon D allows you to never have not steady scope, right? But you don't necessarily get as much ammunition, right? Or maybe you have something else that's right. That's the whole buff nerf kind of thing in terms of specializations. I think that could be cheeky for a game. I think that could work if handled properly.
I thought you couldn't kill him anymore. You totally can. That's amazing.
Take Dozer's ballistic shield, for example, a weapon that is able to deflect basically anything you spam at it.
Oh my god, they're so desperate for his kill, dog.
Unlike so many other games that won't let you melee with a shield or it's 2 hits for a melee kill, this shit is a 1-hit kill and can even kill multiple targets with a single bash.
Kablooey! Kablooey! Kablooey!
On top of that, Dozer's passive trait is explosive damage resistance, so even a grenade or an RPG will not save you. And by the time you're mag dumping at his feet, it's already too late.
Oh, yeah. Come here, boy. I see you in the corner.
Oh, he killed me.
I done seen you in the corner. I done seen you in the corner. Give me that double kill, baby. Yes.
Now that I'm rewatching this footage, I think it's safe to say that DICE gave the assault class way too much sauce. Like, you've got Dozer's ballistic shield, you've got McKay's grappling hook, which is way better than you think it is.
Yo, can you grapple onto a
God, when was the last time we played on this?
Oh my god, you can? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Sundance, arguably the most infamous operator in 2042, is also assault with her flying squirrel wingsuit that I enjoy using at the lowest speeds possible.
Badger, that is the slowest flight I've ever seen in my entire
This
life.
makes no sense, dude. What the
So you look at the operators and the whole thing I was talking about, you know, assault A, B, C, and D, it starts to make a little bit more sense from a design philosophy. Yes, I mean, sure, they're probably wanting some kind of hero shooter, some kind of Overwatch clone to a degree, right? Like they're wanting maybe some kind of identity tied to it, right? However, when you look at this, if we take the operator just, you know, identities out of the mix, right? Like instead of it being Sundance, instead of it being, you know, character, right? Instead of it feeling more like Overwatch or Battlefront even, right? Instead of, oh, this is Darth Vader, or, oh, this is Tracer, right? Oh, this is Mercy. If it was just, you know, you were able to kind of pick a customizable assault kind of gear loadout, right? You were John Battlefield. And then, well, you have Assault A, which you can get a ballistic shield. You have Assault B, in which you can get your wingsuit, right? Do you think that this would have come across as better to the community? And so that's the core issue here. I think if it depends if you answer yes, it would have been received better, or no, it would have been received just the same. I think we can start to debunk if it's truly an operator issue right then and there. I think that there's really no issue with having gimmicks like this. I think that it's cool. I think that it adds a lot of fun to it. I think that it's definitely different from, you know, Battlefield Bad Company 2, right? What I come from. Definitely different from Battlefield 3, which other people played. Went back, tried to play Battlefield 5 recently. I'm awful at it. Like, I don't play Battlefield 5 because I am god-awful at the game. And I was trying to make things happen. It was not happening. I was going super negative. But things like this feels like a fun, modular, semi-class based modern FPS, and especially if a lot of the bugs have been addressed since launch, this starts to appeal to people. And I think that we see constant you know, revamps in games. You know, Halo Infinite goes through its rise and falls. Halo Infinite's so back, baby, 5K concurrent players, and then we get videos from large Halo creators that say, well, Halo 5 is dumb, and it's like, mate, it's an 8-year-old game. What? And it feels like the negativity just kind of gets passed around a lot. I know Battlefield, we had the Necromorph event that happened recently that had me interested in it, but I also kind of I was told that it was kind of meh, so I don't really have anything to say on that. But when Badger frames it as something like this, and this is why I like his style, is that it's not necessarily is the game good. It's not like it's not going to go into Angry Joe, right? If you're going into Angry Joe and you want to know about the new Madden game, oh, absolutely, I have popcorn ready for that every year. It's great. Oh, he goes off on it. But absolutely, that's why you go into it. What's wrong with the new Madden? How can Madden improve, right? When you're going to something like this, it's less, is the game good? And more, yo, what's Badger doing with this game? How is he balling, right? Like, how is he having fun with this game? And I think that's an important thing to identify with his brand. You're not necessarily going to him for the most, like, this game is good, awesome, A+, right? But you're going for an honest, like, this is how we had fun with this. And I think that there needs to be a push for creators like this on YouTube to just kind of break up that monotony of negativity. Because yes, we can objectively say some games are good and some games are bad, right? We can objectively say, was it Ride to Hell Retribution? Was that the really, really bad game? From a bug standpoint, oh god, it was awful. From everything I've heard about it, right? I mean, we can argue pretty objectively that Resident Evil 5 was a pretty bad game, right? There is some subjectivity to it. We have arguments about how Pokemon Sun and Moon Gen 7, half the community's divided. It was bad, it was good. I've always been in the camp that this is good, and this is honestly what competitive Pokemon from the Alolan decks going to VGC should be, right? So there's a lot of objectivity, but there's also subjectivity. And I think that this comes across as subjective, but in a good way.
What was that?
And last but not least, we've got the king of stupid shit in the assault class, Zane, with his insanely dumb XM370 airburst.
Well, anyway.
How about that attitude?
Yes, sir. The airburst. The triple kill, baby.
Unlike a traditional grenade launcher that strikes a surface to explode, the 370 can lock onto a surface and explode just beyond it, so being on a roof, behind cover, or around a corner won't save you from the blast.
I love it.
Commitment.
Yeah, there's like 4
Nice. Airburst is base. That's a triple kill, baby.
Wow.
Holy shit.
I was so confused as to why more people weren't running around with this thing, because it felt like every time I spammed this thing at a spotted enemy, it would suddenly land a triple kill.
Just get a back.
I got a bad habit.
Oh shit.
Come on. Yes, sir. That's a triple kill, baby.
With the 370 in my hand, I started to understand how different specialists feel compared to traditional Battlefield classes purely based off the firepower in their arsenal. Every class in Battlefield has always had deadly weapons, but this specialist Zane has got a primary, secondary, grenades, the XM370, C5, a self-heal pen, and a passive that regenerates his health after a kill.
I did like how he put in each of those in sequence. I really liked that. That was a good visual tool. I think that other creators would have just shown the actual image of the class structure, all of those equipment. But I think that what makes that, I think that's my favorite scene in this so far, aside from the what was a kilometer, right? I liked that because it was simple but very effective, and I think a lot of reactors will gloss over that.
Ooh, this guy feels much less like a soldier playing a role in a team and much more like an army of one.
Let me use my airburst for this. This is actually a really good airburst opportunity.
Yeah, you could just like walk onto it from a distance.
Do we get a notification when they're defusing?
Yeah, where it says A, there'll become like a little bomb like icon that'll flash. That's how you know they're on it.
Okay.
Yeah, like right now.
Okay. It's working. It's working, baby. Double kill. Yes.
Double.
All right, grenade again. We're gonna grenade it. We're gonna grenade it. This is gonna work. This is gonna work. I'm running in with C4. I'm running with C4.
They're defusing.
I got it off! Yes!
Nice.
Triple kill, baby!
I killed him.
Oh
Commit.
my god!
Let's go.
No way! That worked
Easy.
too perfectly. The air burst, then the grenade, then the C5, baby. Holy shit. Why are my legs so skinny?
Oh, he's a double amputee.
I did not It sounds kind of cringe, but I think I'm having another epiphany while watching back this footage. I think I get the argument against specialists now. Battlefield was built off of each class being incredible at a specific thing, yet dependent on other classes for other things, as if each player was only one piece of the puzzle. You're an engineer.
Correct. They all fed into each other, right? Your assaults, your heavies are going to need ammunition. You're going to have your medic who's going to have to help your teammate when they inevitably take more damage, or you have little Timmy just going, Leroy Jenkins! And you're like, little Timmy, that's the wrong game, and he gets bought by the sniper halfway across the map, right? All of these fed into each other into kind of a rock, paper, scissors, so to speak. And I think that it's interesting to look at it from a game design perspective.
Which means you can blow up and repair vehicles, but where are you going to get ammo? Where are you going to get health? Where are you going to get intel? When I look at a specialist like Sundance with a primary, secondary, grenade, C5, self-heal pen, cluster grenade, and wingsuit, that does not feel like a piece of the puzzle. That feels like almost the whole fucking puzzle, dog. She feels incredibly independent because she's deadly at fragging infantry, she can blow things up, she can heal herself, and she isn't relying on vehicles with the crazy mobility of her wingsuit. She's obviously not completely independent because she can't give herself ammo, destroy vehicles from afar, or provide intel to the extent of a recon, but in a franchise built around 4 pieces of the puzzle coming together as one, she feels like 2.5 pieces by herself. Battlefield has been blurring the lines between classes for a while now, like the buddy revive mechanic from Battlefield 5, where you can revive members of your own squad without needing to be a medic. But I think on one edge of the spectrum, you've got the old school hardcore Battlefield players that will always love the rigid class system where everyone has a specific strength and you're forced to work together to be successful. I like to think these players have high trust that the average Battlefield player knows how to effectively use their class, and there's no reason to ever break up the Fantastic Four. Simple as that.
You gotta do.
So would you argue this would be similar to the Counter-Strike Go or the Dota 2 effect, where the expectation to even play the game is going to be a higher entry skill level? So we've talked about, if I were to pick up CSGO right now or Dota 2 right now, I would be having an awful first 500 hours to just understand how to play the game, which is fine. Like there are games that need to be like that. I mean, Elite Dangerous was a huge learning curve. It still is a learning curve for me in a lot of ways, which is fine. Games like those are fine. It's much like when I talk about L5R, Legend of the Five Rings, right? Or even Warhammer 40K from a tabletop gaming perspective, right? Is it going to be easier to play a game like Magic the Gathering, where it's going to be like, cool, draw card, funny land, funny thing with mana cost, smack my land down, turn land sideways, do thing, right? Or, and I'm oversimplifying it for dramatic effect, right? I play Tron, okay? I don't actually play Magic the Gathering. I am actually just a nuisance on the community. Or a game like Dungeons and Dragons, where you just need, character sheet, a little less setup than something like 40K, right? Versus something when you play L5R, okay, you got your Dynasty deck, you got your Fate deck, you got your provinces all set up, depending on what edition you're playing. Let's use Emperor Edition, you have your Stronghold, you have Border Keep, Bamboo Harvest if you're going second. You have to know what your clan affiliation is, you need to know if your clan has honor requirements, such as Cranes can have honor requirements if you go below that. How do you get back up to that? Like, there's already more things already operating now that we have not only 2 decks, but 4 win conditions. Military, political victory, which is honor victory, I believe. Enlightenment. Oh god, there's a 4th in there. I don't remember what it is. Oh wow, that's actually throwing me off now, because I used to remember these like the back of my hand. I think I want to say military, political, honor, enlightenment, but I feel like that's incorrect. I don't remember what the 4th one is. Anyways, or like 40K, right, where you have to have your minis, you have to have the codexes. You could argue that at base level, when you can look at it and go, but Kip, it's not hard at all. And absolutely, I would agree with you. It's not necessarily hard to play a game with 2 decks, 4 win conditions. It's not hard to play something like 40K. To your average person, though, which is the argument we're making here, right? To your average person, though, is that going to provide a barrier to entry? And by itself, that barrier to entry kind of filter the community. Will the quality of people you see at a local LGS for 40K be a higher quality than, some online Redditor or some online Redditor's perspective who's just a fan of the lore, right? Or L5R, are you going to have, you know, a more legitimate time, you know, with L5R players versus Magic the Gathering players? I can tell you from a subjective Idaho standpoint, I have met very few Magic the Gathering players here that I would actually have a conversation with. But that's because, once again, I seem to be attracted to really scummy people. So this all kind of encompasses to a point in, is this going to be something that is going to be a barrier for entry? And will that barrier for entry be a filter for people, and infiltrating people where you see a better community, a more a long-lasting community? These are all things you have to look into.
Dude that stretches, an invisible woman, a guy that sets himself on fire, and a rock. That's so simple.
Yeah.
Just have them fight people, dog. Like, I don't know how you fuck that up. And don't hire Miles Teller. Like, yo.
Then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got the players that do love specialists because they can do so much by themselves. They don't have faith that the average Battlefield player knows what they're doing. They believe in the Battlefield memes that supports don't give ammo, medics don't revive, and engineers don't repair. They view the random squad mates like the captain of the Titanic. You can scream at him 7 straight times, and 7 straight times he will ignore your advice.
That is so me-core.
Me core, I told you to lock in and you hit a fucking iceberg, Sigrid.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm going.
Amazing.
It's like, yeah, I fuck up.
Personally, I find myself somewhere in the middle of this Fantastic Four versus Specialist debate. I love the Classic Four. The teamwork it requires to thrive and how divided each role is. Like, I love the old system of every class getting its own set of primary weapons instead of 2042 letting anybody use any gun. But at the same time, I'm not a purist that thinks that the rigid system of 4 has to exist the way it has in every Battlefield forever, and DICE should never take a risk to improve or iterate on it just because players hate change. I've been playing Battlefield for almost 16 years, and have found myself incredibly frustrated with it countless times when my squad mates suck and don't do their job. Believe it or not, I started this YouTube channel 14 years ago because I thought Battlefield players were bad at Battlefield. I was so tired of being at the top of the scoreboard on the losing team that I started uploading YouTube tutorials so I could show these shitters how to improve their game and actually win for once. So on
That's me in Destiny at this point. When I play Destiny 2, yes, I'm playing a Nova Warlock, right? When I'm playing Destiny 2 and I am top of the damage board every single time, even above Hunters, I start to not like the game anymore. I want to be... I personally, when I play a game, I want people either slightly above my skill level or absolutely way above my skill level, because I try to adapt to that environment, right? If I play nothing but, let's just do League of Legends example. If I play nothing but, you know, Iron and Bronze players in League of Legends, if I was getting back into it, and I could see nothing at that plat top 500 players were doing, right? Do you think that's going to make me a better player? No, absolutely not. I enjoy being bottom of the leaderboard because it, 1, forces me to think on my feet. 2, forces me to be better. 3, it also has me learn how to play the game better. So in a game like Destiny 2, as much as I've ranted on it at certain instances, and I will still run raids in it. The issue is if I'm running duo planets and Rudo Nightmares, if I am top of the damage board, even if I'm running something like Outbreak Perfected, right? We enter an issue where I'm not a good gamer. I'm not a good player, okay? I'm not. Sure, you can argue, well, you're top 10% in D2 for Raiders. Yeah, but how much of that is artificially inflated by Raider Nightmares runs? Like, I don't want to toot my own horn. I'm not that good. So if I'm top of the leaderboard, there is a problem here. I do vibe with this sentiment. I should never be top of the leaderboard in any game, which is why I like going back to play MCC sometimes, you know, barring issues with potential hack vulnerabilities, right? Because, you know, if I'm top 3, I still feel like I'm doing something wrong. But if I'm in the middle of the leaderboard and I've been doing great all game, I'm learning. I'm actively in a situation where I'm forced to be better. And I think that that's lost on a lot of people, unfortunately. And that being said, that's also up to like what Badger's doing, right? You know, seeing me at top of the leaderboard, thinking players are bad. Cool, here's my response. Was his response to necessarily call them out? Was his response to call it, say, you know, KYS, delete game, Alt F4, etc.? No. Cool, this is how you do this. This is how you play the game. That is the fundamental understanding on why I prefer Badger over so many other creators. Absolutely, there's amazing creators that I love to watch, and so many that I still react to. This is what I think sets Badger apart, and I think this is something that can get overlooked by people, is this reaction itself is telling of him as a person and his personality more so than, you know, choice in videos or choice in games. That says a lot about this man.
That note, I kind of like the specialists that have such a massive arsenal of tools that they can carry a team to victory even when my squad is not playing their class correctly and making everything harder for me.
Didn't kill him.
You know
Kill
what?
him, and I
That's
still
fine.
got him. And
I'm okay with this.
That was my patient, and you took him.
They don't even know that I'm here, chat. What are they doing? What are they doing? They don't even know that I'm
You
here.
took my patient. I
Am I
took
just this
cyanide.
goated? Like, what is wrong with me right now?
I love those moments
Did
when
everybody
Badger
just
is
lose
like,
their brain?
I love those moments when Badger is just like gaming out super hard, like, yo, chat, like, look at this shit I'm doing. And we're in the corner being like horrible little fucking gremlins.
Oh,
It's great.
Now, while I was making this video, EA revealed that the next Battlefield is getting rid of the specialist system and going back to the basics with the OG 4 classes, so they're ditching the whole hero shooter thing. But all of this thinking about classic Battlefield versus new Battlefield has me convinced that the single most important factor in your Battlefield experience is having a squad you can communicate with.
you guys.
I think that Badger has perfectly summed up why I prefer this tourist mentality, as I'll call it now. I think that me being able, and even him being in the middle of the fence might, in some way, shape, or form, kind of understand where I'm coming from this, right? Being able to have a tourist mentality, quote unquote, even in things that I've been in for years, right? L5R, Naruto, etc. Go, yada yada yada, right? Like I can look at it and I can go, but why is this happening? What does this do in this specific game? So it becomes less about well, how do you feel about the operator? How do you feel about the specialist, right? And it becomes more about like, okay, but this is what I think they do to the game. I prefer this game because it does this versus that. I prefer older entries because it does this versus this. But that being said, I look at the end product and I go, okay, do I prefer this or this? What are those reasons? I'm able to analyze things better, in my opinion. And you could argue you could do that as a diehard as well. Absolutely. So let's take Dead Space, right? Franchise that I stream every single year. And I'm just constantly upset because it keeps dying for all intents and purposes, right? I love Dead Space 2. I think Dead Space 2 is a great action game. I think that the telekinesis system is very, very strong, if not incredibly busted. I think that aside from like the rivet gun, which is kind of the meme weapon, right? All these weapons are kind of cool. They kind of have their use cases, and it has a very linear path through that, especially if you're trying to get into speed running or running the game incredibly quickly, you're able to, at one point in time, and I knew every spawn in that game. You can know every spawn in that game, and you can have a route to the end. Absolutely. Now, I will argue that things like, well, I think Dead Space 3 kind of fell flat in terms of TK. I did like the dodge roll from Dead Space 3, though, right? Like, I can find each and every things to like and dislike about each and every one of them. Dead Space Remake, I think that is the most balanced version of TK through the entire series. It is the most balanced TK, in my opinion. However, I still prefer 2s because 2 it feels like an actual, like, relevant, like, cool, we're just going to use this as an emergency weapon to get you, right? So that also comes to the understanding that, well, so that means you like all of them equally. Well, not necessarily. I still don't like 3 as much as I like 2. I still don't even like 1, OG 1, as much as I like 2. Dead Space Remake, I mean, that's kind of comparable to 1. Do you like the Dead Space Remake or do you like Dead Space OG? Well, I like them for different reasons. I think both are complementary and both should be played in accordance with each other. I think you do get an unfair advantage in the remake if you do play the original. That being said, if you do play the remake after the original, you get a different context entirely because you have the original as a baseline. You can see what they changed and what elements design wise, especially rooms, characters, enemy placement, stuff like that they took from the original and ported over to the remake. This is all to say that I think that this tourist mentality or analyzing stuff, it could be a great thing. It's not necessarily that you're in Battlefield terms. You're not in the camp of the OG. You can absolutely be that way. You're not necessarily in the camp of the specialists, the operators, right? You could be, but it's not necessarily intrinsic on your enjoyment of the series, right? It's that he's able to look at it from somewhere in the middle and go, okay, I see why the 4-class system works. I understand it. I think it's great. I think it's cool for balancing. But he also likes the operators, some of the modularity they have, being able to use any of the weapons, right? Being able to have things like the wingsuit, right? Or the airburst, right? You're able to come across a situation in which you can appreciate both things, but still have your preference. So let's say he prefers the new system versus the old. Do you necessarily vilify him for that? No, it's not like he's openly saying, well, I prefer this system over the last one, right? You're allowed to have preferences, and even then, that can be subjective. It's interesting how internet discourse, especially when dealing with certain fandoms, has really kind of driven this home. Like, these are things I've thought about entirely, right? These are not new concepts to me to discuss, but it's really kind of brought it to the forefront in a way that I can explain it and try to extrapolate it to people that may or may not like see deeper on that.
Saying all this stupid shit is making an otherwise non-chaotic game super chaotic. And 4 you fuckers just missed a dude that ran through our entire line. What is wrong? What is wrong?
Fellas, we need to talk this out. What is happening? What's happening?
I still got him because I'm going.
The swouse. The swouse.
I can self-heal, but I can't get back my self-respect. You guys are such a fucking group of clowns.
I think the biggest misconception in Battlefield is that your squad mates have to be good to be successful, when I can assure you they do not. As long as your squad mates communicate and perform the role they are playing, we're talking ammo, revives, repair, and recon, your experience will be 100 times better. Sigrid is a great example. She's not very good at Battlefield, but she communicates and does the job of the class that she's selected. So heavenly hating on her kill-death ratio for hours on end is missing the bigger picture of how important teamwork is.
Finally, some good fucking teammates. Sigrid's here.
Why do I have your Her ass is the lowest person on the team. You can't even see her without scrolling down.
Exactly the kind of hero that we need in our squad. Shut up, eekajj.
Sigrid's literally a VTuber.
Yeah, fuck all you guys.
This is not a good.
She's not a human being yet. She killed 2 bots and called it a day.
She's taking our job.
3 purple hearts. What do you have, buddy? Huh? I got a Medal of Honor.
That means you were so bad you got hit. I came back with nothing.
You almost got sent back in a box.
Heavenly would question how he feels about Purple Heart veterans. Quote, you got hit, you suck.
Oh my God! So someone out there is going to play this in tandem with the Brandon Herrera Forced Valor clip. Oh my God! This is going to be the mashup of all time.
Here's what he said.
Quote from Heavenly Father: I don't fuck with losers.
Heavenly's hating like he's getting paid to do it.
Hang on.
I am.
Words per minute, baby.
No blue check marks, no ad rev. I'm doing it for the love of the game. I'm hating racism in my DNA. I'm born to hate.
Hey, Sigrid.
Yeah, what's up, grouse?
How is it that still when you do nothing, you're still a pain in my ass? How is that
Hee
thing?
Eto,
bleh.
We gotta keep Sigrid. Please shoot that guy.
My shit is so fucked up. My audio keeps cutting in and out like every other second. It's horrible.
Clicking people in the head.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? Heavenly, I'm neurodivergent and a minor, and actually, it makes
Fuck are
me
you talking about, man? I just want you to kill a guy, bro. White women with breast. I'm neurodivergent, guys.
That is so impolite of you.
I just need you to left click on a dude in front of you. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, man.
Now that you know that squad play is the most critical part of your Battlefield experience, the second most important factor in the equation of you having fun might come as a surprise: server lottery. And if you don't mind me bragging to make my point here, I am cracked at Battlefield. I'm no professional, I never wore a jersey, but I have thousands upon thousands of hours and hundreds of thousands of kills across Bad Company 1, Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, 4, 1, 5. I even played Hardline, which some of you don't even know exists. I don't brag.
I remember the Hardline exists. Oh man, I heard a lot of people did not like Hardline.
About much, but if there's one flex in my life that feels completely justified, it's my ability to play Battlefield, and I will die on this hill.
I want to play Battlefield again.
I'm so naturally good at this game. It's actually fucking absurd. It's absurd.
Humble too. Yeah.
You can bite my dick, asshole. I'm so good at this game. No, he's gas.
And they did not give me the instruction manual for this.
Yeah, double kill, baby. Double kill. I'm just like that. I'm just like that.
Oh no,
Give me the
don't
triple.
kill me.
I'm just like that. I avenge you, eekajj.
If you kill me, I'm gonna be really mad.
There's more. I cannot be stopped. I cannot be stopped. This is my game. I'm so fuck you, Calvin. I'm still so good at this game, and I'm not humble either. I'm just good. I'm just good, dude. I'm just cracked.
So with that in mind, that I'm very good at Battlefield, I know what I am doing in any game mode and any server size, sometimes the Battlefield experience is just ruined by team balance, or what I like to call server lottery. Sometimes the random combination of all of your team's players against all of the enemy team's players leads to such a skill gap that no matter what you do, you are destined to get steamrolled into a spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn, die scenario.
I'm
So here's the interesting part about this, because I've heard both complaints, okay? So in playing Halo Infinite, where even casual was linked to your MMR, right? You know, it's not that you throw back to something like Halo Reach or Halo 3 even, right? Where you're, you know, oh, I'm going to go quick play, and it is server lottery, right? You know, absolutely, you could get 2 absolutely cracked players on the enemy team, and they just trounce you with perfectionists all game, right? So in Infinite, as far as I'm aware, and this has been a number of conversations, I'm fairly certain that it is based on this, casual is linked to your MMR. And there's a lot of issues that arise from that because the sentiment that I've heard is, well, I just want to play the game, right? And I agree with the sentiment. Sometimes I just want to go in. I don't care if they get 3 people who are stacked. That's what I remember from the 360 era, right? I'm fine with that. So it's interesting to hear the other side of this, where the complaint is server lottery, where the randomization that a lot of people that I've talked to and I myself feel like we want in casual is the issue here. And the randomization should be, I'm curious what he's gonna pitch that it replaces. Is it gonna be like an MMR thing? Is it gonna be a time played thing? Is it gonna be an unlock progression thing? I'm very curious. I'm curious what his solution to this would be. But also, as I said, it's interesting to see the other side, where I complain that, especially in casual, why do we have MMR matchmaking? I don't want to sweat every single game. Sometimes I just want the luck of the draw. Sometimes I have 5 potatoes on my team. That's completely fine. You're just going to get those games. You just write those games off. Versus the complaint being, or at least the alleged complaint, I'll say, being, well, you know, both teams only have 1 potato. And you know, or our team, or sorry, let me rephrase that. But the complaint being that, well, we have 5 potatoes on our team, and they got, you know, 5 gold stars on their team, and we're just getting trounced all game. I guess that I've just started writing those games off, and I've written those off for a while. It's fascinating. It's fascinating to see the dichotomy here.
Spawn die pill.
Oh, God.
Wow, I actually did.
Even if I'm locked in, my squad's locked in, and we are doing everything we can to carry our team, 4 players can only do so much in a 64-player server.
Oh my god, dude, I'm fucking spawning and dying.
I'm not saying boo-hoo, it sucks to lose, because I think it sucks on both sides when it's a landslide victory. You are bored, and you are looking at a respawn screen the entire time. Who likes that? The losers are getting crushed so hard that players are quitting, which only makes things worse, and the winners are getting bored from having fewer and fewer targets to shoot at on their way to the win.
I can feel that the other team is on the other end of spawn die, and it must feel so bad.
Why it stings so much in Battlefield is that these games can be really long, even if you're getting torn in half by a superior team. It's not like so many other shooters out there where the pain is over in 5 minutes, because in 32 versus 32 game modes, it could be 15 or 20 minutes of this shit.
Dude, I can't even stick my head out of spawn cover without getting murdered. They're already back here.
Just dodge the bullet, bro. Like, what's your problem?
Only 762.
The other half of why this stings so much is the feeling of complete helplessness. In any other shooter that's 5v5, 10v10, I'd even say up to a Call of Duty ground war of 16v16, one guy can carry, one guy can intervene, he can be him, he can stop the bleeding and give your team a fighting chance.
The funniest running bits on TikTok that I've seen, it's like every time I see an SCP posted that's like an end of the world scenario, the top comment is always, y'all acting like I would let this happen.
Unfortunately, there is no such savior that is going to stop the steamroll from happening if you lose the server lottery in Battlefield. I think there are so many great things about Battlefield's massive scale with dozens, if not hundreds of players in a server. That many guys running around with all these different weapons, all these different vehicles, and all these different ways to work together leads to so much chaos. It's why I fell in love with Battlefield in the first place.
Let's take this point back. I want to go home.
If you recall what I said in the intro, that when 2042 is good, it's so good, and when it's bad, it's so bad. If you lose the server lottery, holy shit, it's so bad.
It's dog shit.
So I think the argument here becomes, and pardon the clichéness of this, you're playing Battlefield for the experience of a Battlefield, right? I think we can argue that Call of Duty to a degree has kind of lost its identity in a way, right? We have Codosaurus Rex, we have Cheech and Chong, right? I mean, and those are obviously collab type things. We legally distinct VTuber skin on a gun, legally distinct AK-50, right? And we can argue, you know, all day that, well, this is Call of Duty, maybe this is what this does, you know. I think that it's kind of lost the plot a little bit. I think it's lost its identity and kind of become this, like, this quasi-omnipresent, using really big words here that probably don't mean what I'm trying to get across, but it's kind of become this, like, it's become more of the idea of a Call of Duty than a Call of Duty game as I remember back. I still go and play Modern Warfare 2. I will actually go back on Steam and play multiplayer Modern Warfare 2 from like 2009. I'll still do it. I don't play anything past Black Ops 3, which is, I mean, a preference thing. You play Battlefield, and the understanding is you have a Battlefield, whether that's as far back as Battlefield Bad Company 2, sniping across maps in Anchorage, right? Being able to push objectives, trying to be able to push the enemy team. You're going for longer engagement. So a 32v32, you're not really going to have that one guy that is just that cracked. Maybe, I know, was it Grandpa? Is it Grandpa Sniper? I can't remember his name offhand, and I'm really like kicking myself because he's super cool. Saw his things on TikTok, saw they want to unsubscribe podcast. Like, he's just cool grandpa dude, cool sniper that just snipes people. And like, you can have engagements like that, absolutely, and they're kind of more close engagement, kind of more personable engagements, if you will, because of the personal interaction between snipers, right? You could absolutely have things like that, but you are going for a battlefield scenario. You have different units, you have different squadrons that are all on these teams that are trying to converge on an enemy team, and sometimes it's just a landslide, which is why this feeds into his prior argument of communication being so important, especially if there's something. But I always lament that things like Destiny 2 don't have a ping system, because I think that ping systems make games a lot easier from a nonverbal standpoint. If you're able to find a way, I don't know if there's a ping system in this, I don't know if there's full team voice chat or if it's just in your squad. If you're able to mobilize your team in certain ways, you can absolutely, and this is kind of even, omitting their skill level, you can find ways to make things work. You are fighting as a full 32-man offensive versus, 8 4-man cells? Or, let's say, 4 8-man cells, something like that, right? But, you get where I'm coming from, right? Battlefield kind of retains this identity of it being a battlefield setting. And unfortunately, yes, you're going to hit the server lottery. You're going to have people that are able to communicate. You have people that are just higher skill levels. They're only going to converge on a team. Sometimes it's going to be a wash. And I think that it's finding the enjoyment in those games, even if you just stick them out, even if you just leave. I am of the opinion, just find a way to find enjoyment in that, because I will get my Battlefield 5, as I said, I get just my ass handed to me every single game. But I still try to find things to learn. I still find ways to do different things. I still find ways to, maybe I need to fine-tune this. Maybe I need to just try a different class. Maybe this isn't going to be what I want for this map, right? So I think that a lot of that can be addressed by just thinking a little outside the box, using a landslide as why did they win? Did they just have better communication? Did they have better placement? Are they just that good? Did we do anything? Did we have people that full? Did we have people off spawn? Did we have people running the wrong classes? Did we have people going for vehicles when they should have been going for vehicles? Did they just do the classic Warhammer 40k thing of just not standing on the point? They were going for points, going for kills, but they weren't actually on the point, taking the point, right? Things to think about.
Shit, chat. It's trash.
But with that said, I hate being so negative about all this. It feels so unproductive, so I'm going to draw a line in the swouse and talk about the good stuff.
What's a swouse?
Losing the server lottery may be a really low, but winning the server lottery and finding yourself with a worthy opponent where each team is fighting tooth and nail for the win, that is such an intoxicatingly high, what my buddy Badda would call peak Battlefield. The round that I recognized this was on a limited time mode called King of the Hill, which is essentially Conquest with one single flag, where we were getting pummeled by a couple hundred tickets and managed to mount one of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen.
I accidentally just hit that woman in the face with an RPG. I was aiming for the vehicle, I swear. And I got the vehicle.
Helden, get me, please.
I got him too. Double kill. By the 9, I'm tweaking.
This is such a shit show.
Hey, Search Flamingo?
Medic? More bodies.
What the?
What are you saying, dude?
You should know this. You've been playing this game for 30 minutes.
I can't read.
Yes,
Nice,
I got
good
him!
hit.
Perfect lock! Thank you! Thank you, Recon, whoever you are out there. What a god.
Right there. See? Recon getting the information. I would argue that that's not even a necessarily high skill level thing to acquire, right? So that's easily approachable for nearly anyone to do, right? Providing information, providing support to your team so your team can capitalize on it. I always relegate myself to support roles because I'm not my buddy Bakker, right? I have not habitually gone perfectionist in Team Snipers and Halo Reach. I don't have that skill level. But roles like this, I feel, are underappreciated, whether you have the skill level or not, because a lot of people want to be top of the scoreboard. A lot of people want to be top fighting top 2 on scoreboard, right? A lot of people want to, feel that adrenaline of run and gun. But that's fine. Your support characters, your support players allow you to achieve that, right? Literally in action right there. The support player allowed Badger to get the perfect lock to be able to take out what arguably would have been a very real threat, right? Right there. Actual citation of thing happening.
Oh my god, finally ended the little bird streak.
Lives matter. It's fine.
Teamwork is actually so intoxicating when it actually fucking happens in this dipshit game.
It's like drugs.
I didn't think it was possible.
It's like sleeping and I'm
You got the 2 neurons.
Badger, I think I just landed on you.
I got him again. Yes.
Oh my god,
Yes.
the positive human
Yes, the teamwork is so intoxicating. And we're on the flag. I mean, we got to make up like a gigantic ass
Dude,
gap. But
teamwork
it's
is like drinking, and baby, I'm driving.
Oh, yes.
Like minutes, but it's fine. We got this. Lock in.
Sigrid, I'm going to get you.
Do it. Oh my god, he's the hero.
I just had like 36 battlefield moments in 2 seconds.
Jeep behind.
Shoot the driver. You can shoot the driver.
Got him.
He's not mortal.
Oh, I'm getting sniped from like way right. I would.
Oh, damn. I really want that Isaac Clarke skin now. I'm really sad I missed the Halloween event now.
Dance if you're gonna revive me. Thank you.
I'm a damn good dancer.
They're only winning by 100 tickets now. We're making this happen. Oh, let me lock on, baby. Let me lock on.
1 on point.
So hear me out. They're actually using tactics. They're converging on a point. I guarantee you there's any military member in the chat's going to be able to point out why what they're doing works. Maybe they're even going to be able to point out, this is, what we're taught. This is what we used. Obviously observing all NDAs and, don't tell stuff that doesn't need to be out there, right? But generally, for everyone knows that. I just have to make sure to clarify I want to say legal reasons, but just, no one needs to know. No one needs to know if it's under NDA or OPSEC, right? But that being said, like there's teamwork here, right? They are covering for each other. They're supporting each other. They're able to hold out on this hill, right? You can argue that they're using, the high ground, right? High ground. They're being able to cover each other's blind spots. They're communicating effectively. They're making sure anytime a relevant threat comes up, namely a vehicle, they're able to lock onto it and someone's able to take it out pretty quickly. Like, they are applying communication and tactics to this game, and it's working? ? Oh my god, it's almost like that's how that works. That's the game people want to play. And unfortunately, when it comes to internet randoms, it's a mixed bag. And this is why Badger's absolutely right. That match when you finally get this to pop off is intoxicating. It's literally no different than Xenos from Final Fantasy XIV looking for that one good fight. That's literally no different than me explaining when me and my sword fighting things, that the best moments I've ever experienced are when time stops. Does it happen all the time? No, absolutely not. But there are those choice few fights, those choice few instances that are just next level. They are stellar for all intents and purposes. That's why we play games. This is, I think, the battlefield that people want. Regardless if you have operators, regardless of if you have specialists, regardless if you have 4 classes, regardless of weapon choice, this is what people want to play.
1 on point.
Yes, sir!
It's time.
It's kind of shit. It's kind of shitty that's time-based, if you ask me.
That's rough.
That was maybe one of the most heroic comebacks I've ever seen in Battlefield, though.
If you ask me, that's the kind of battlefield that I want to be playing every round. I don't know what.
Oh my god, not even pre-watched? Did he not just say what I just said? That's the kind of battlefield people want to play? I'll take my Kip W.
DICE has to do on the back end to make this kind of team balance happen in every server, whether it's skill-based matchmaking or some kind of fancy statistical algorithm. But no matter the buttons they gotta press, blue, yellow, pink, whatever, man, just keep bringing me that. The other workaround we found to this server lottery issue is just bringing the whole damn squad into a server. And I'm not talking about a squad of 4. I'm talking 10, 12 guys in the same voice call on the same team charging towards the enemy. We mainly did this in the Portal game mode, which I absolutely adore, by the way. Depending on the weekly rotation, it allows you to play older battlefields in a remastered format like Battlefield 3, Bad Company 2, or 1942. Okay. There's always a wacky twist, like we had entirely American weapons while playing as the Germans, but overall, I'm a fan of this mode.
No. I'm your grease monkey. Stop moving, bitch.
Guys.
Or Granata.
Okay, still not the right fucking language, you idiot. That is Russian. That is Russian. Boy, do I ever love shooting Americans with an M1 Garand.
Feels great, don't it?
Dude, all 10 of us joined the game and they are fucked. They are so fucked, dude. Everybody gangsta until 40 Germans in the same voice call show up with Garands and 1911s, dude. Oh, I got his ass.
Nice.
No, I'm gonna revive. No. I gotta shoot first. I gotta shoot
One
first.
more?
I gotta
Two
shoot
more?
first. Okay, we're good.
Ow.
Wait, I don't want your dog shit MG42. Give me this back. There's so many right here, dude.
Green Fortnite. I'm running out.
I'm kind of nuts. I'm kind of cracked. Triple kill. Triple kill in World War II? How is that possible, dude?
He's getting the medal.
With an 8-round mag? Clip?
Oh, you know what? See, here's what's all the debate. It's just a clip of Zine. You're welcome. That will piss everybody off.
A German chamber checking a fucking Garand is not something I expected to see today, dude.
Wait, am I rocking a 1911 as the German?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we had this one.
Yeah, God's caliber. About to be 2 world wars, baby. Wait a sec.
Okay, I'm arming B. I'm scared. I'm scared. Just kidding, I'm not. I have a 1911. I have God's caliber. I don't give a shit.
Get up, booger! We're going home together, buddy!
Let's go.
Statistically unlikely.
We can dream.
Me trying to keep optimism
Sorry,
so I can
my
keep
bad.
myself alive. The cat girl in the trench next to me.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy. Ooh.
Amazing. Yeah.
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 All right, guys, push up.
I would execute you with a 45. I would not let that slide.
Oh no. Mein Führer,
What?
I love it when Calvin hits the what as if he's one of the zestiest people in CTE.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Calvin!
Come on, buddy.
No armbands. Battlefield went woke, fellas. What's going on?
DEI battlefield.
DEI Nazis.
I can't be racist. I can't be racist. There's no armbands. I swear I'm the least racist person.
I think my experience with Portal opened my eyes as to how much map and mode influence how much fun you're having and how much better this game could have been if some decisions were made differently. For example, the way that Portal was advertised as having one team with Bad Company 2 players facing off against another team of 2042 players is something I never experienced. All I ever played was a whole server of Bad Company 2 players or a whole server of 2042 players, never a mix of the two. Destruction is another decision that I think they got wrong after playing Portal because the freedom to break anything you see I consider to be one of the core tenets of Battlefield.
Yeah, I'm running up with C4 because I'm a dipshit.
Come on, dipshit. Come on, dipshit. Come on, dipshit. Come on, dipshit.
Nice. That's perfect.
And destruction does exist, but it's so neutered. Like when a 40 mil grenade launcher won't even bust open a wall, I feel like Battlefield has lost its DNA.
Damn, look how they massacred my boy. 40 mils don't even destroy buildings. Like, what's the point?
If you ask me, I think they toned down the destruction because their map design is bad. On countless maps, the overall flow and balance breaks down if you destroy too many buildings and thus too much cover for the attacking team. But it just feels like such a lazy decision to nerf destruction as a solution.
Can I blow?
But that's the thing, is that's an entirely tactically valid thing to do, right? If you want to just all spawn in with 40mm grenade launchers, you all just want to go bomb that specific building, right? You should have the freedom to be able to do that. Yes, does it make it harder for the other team because they have lack of cover? Yeah, but do you have to do that? You could argue maybe that's a metagame strat. You could argue that that's statistically and tactically the correct call to do, but is every team going to do it? No. And so I think that it does come back to a core map design where if your map design is balanced in a way where you have to fudge and you have to, well, I use fudge in a sense of kind of skirting around, right? You have to fudge or you have to completely remove a core staple of Battlefield, something in the design process, something in the design pipeline isn't going well. And that's one of those things, how do you fix effectively? I mean, as the community, we can complain all day, right? There's no shortage of complainers on Reddit. There's no shortage of complainers on 4chan, no shortage of complainers on Steam forums, right? Any forum, right? Go to Twitter. I'm sure someone right now is talking bad about Battlefield Bad Company 2 in response to Badger posting this video, right? It's going to happen, right? So we can look at as people that want to enjoy the game, people that are having fun, clearly in this video, right? And are critiquing it and criticizing it through in my opinion, a fairly, you could argue, yeah, it's biased, right? But I think it's coming from a reasonable standpoint. So biased, but reasonable is how I'll word that, reasonably analytic, where if the map design is the core issue here, then clearly the map design needs to change. I think that having the environmental destruction is one of those core tenets that you've built the brand up on that you just can't shift, right? Imagine, if you will, some of the largest reactions I have on this channel are to Badger, right? If I just decided, yeah, I'm not reacting to a Badger anymore, I'm not reacting to his videos anymore, I mean, you could argue that's kind of well, why aren't you doing this anymore? And I think that's a fair and valid criticism and critique, right? Well, why aren't you doing this? You've built, or if I went straight into, say, mukbang food content, right? Okay, am I not, what are you doing with the brand that you had already built up? You're just pivoting into this. And absolutely, people should be able to pivot 100%, right? Badger should be able to pivot from Rainbow Six Siege videos into Fortnite videos into Battlefield videos, right? I think that being able to pivot in that sphere is fine. And even if you're you're a Final Fantasy 14 streamer, and you're like, well, I don't really vibe with this anymore. I'm gonna go play League of Legends or Call of Duty, right? And you want to make that shift? Absolutely. But it does come with consequences, right? And so we look at Battlefield, and if they get away from the environmental destruction, because this is one of the big sticking points, the lack of environmental destruction, that is seen as a betrayal of the brand you have built up. So, in summary, I think that this is, even while biased, because clearly having fun with game, wanting to play game, right? It is a reasonable take, and I think a reasonable analysis on why people are upset with Battlefield because of the removal, seeming removal at least, of this mechanic.
The walls? Does that work?
I think there's a guy on top of the containers.
I think so. Damn, this does not feel like Battlefield, I'm not gonna lie. That doesn't explode? That doesn't explode? Are you kidding me? Jesus, what happened to this franchise?
What makes this so frustrating is the DICE clearly knows how to make a great map. Like, exposure is good, flashpoint is really good. It's wide enough, there's varying terrain, there's varying elevation, there's plenty of cover, a great flow around the objectives. The whole thing is cash money.
Oh my goodness.
Direct impacted, baby. All right.
But for every flashpoint that's just right, there are so many maps that are way too big, way too bland, where it looks like they did nothing but spam shipping containers with the prop tool in their map editor. And don't even get me started on Hourglass, dog. What the fuck?
So hear me out. Here's my analysis on this: is at what point in the pipeline did these maps have to be created? At what level are these decisions being made, right? So I don't know enough about Flashpoint, and I don't know enough about Hourglass. I'm going to just run on the assumption presented that Flashpoint good, Hourglass bad, right? Was one created after the other? Was there executive management decisions made in regards to certain maps? Were the devs allowed to have enough time to design this? And here's where I think that, and this is where any game can really, I think, take a W. Remember Halo 3? Remember logging into Halo 3 on the 360? What two features were, in my opinion, revolutionary for the time? Forge and Theater. So hear me out. We give the map edit. We give an update to Battlefield 2042. We give it a map editor. Then have a community map playlist mode, or have some way of analyzing, what maps are created and submitted, and they're kind of in this rotation, right? This would give feedback if there's intrinsic on if there's any doubt in regards to maybe warring opinions on maps, devs, management not being sure what players would want to play, right? This is free data for them to effectively pull the Halo. We're going to create Forge maps. Cool, you're going to play Forge maps in this playlist. Hey, which ones have a positive, which ones have a negative rating, right? And even then, you could have people sign an NDA for this, right? You could reach out to certain people in the community. I'm sure Badger would probably sign an NDA. I can't speak for him, obviously, but hey, Badger, you want to deal with some 2042, some maps? Want to give us some feedback, right? That kind of thing. I feel that could work. So giving it a feature to be able to use even a simplified map editor, right, and to be able to create maps and use it for effectively just free metrics to okay, but which maps are players engaging with more? Let's analyze why these maps are doing good, why these maps aren't doing good. Well, Halo 1's Rat's Nest, right, I think was made in an hour and a half, something like that. It doesn't take a long time to make a good map. You just have to know what the flow of your game is going to be, what the highlights of your game are, what the down points of your game are, right? I think Rust works for Modern Warfare 2, but I don't think it would necessarily work for something like Black Ops 3. I could be wrong. I think that Nuketown, right? Nuke 3 Town, Black Ops 3. I think that Nuketown works for certain play, but would Nuketown work for something like Battlefield? I don't think so. So clearly we can look at this and we can go, okay, there's clearly a divide here in philosophy. So where do we analyze what players do and don't want to play? And even then, we go to the logic of there always has to be stinkers for things to shine more brightly, right? For every flashpoint that we get, we're going to get an Hourglass. But you kind of want to keep everything on, on a reasonable level. It's no different than trading card game pack culture, right? For every secret rare, there's a common that doesn't do anything, right? For every good secret rare, there's two bad secret rares, right? Or if you want to talk about Magic the Gathering, right? For every set, there's that one god tier mythic and 4 other mythics that are kind of okay or situational, but you're going to have your commons to have your rares. You're going to have your rares to have your mythics, right? You're going to have things that are less good and things that are better. And even then, that can be subjective, right? You can say there are going to be people that are going to go, well, Resident Evil 4 was, one of the worst entries in the series. I guarantee it. People are going to go, I think it was one of the best entries in the series. That is subjective. It's kind of rolling with that subjectivity to find a middle ground objectivity is how I'll argue.
Narrow choke point surrounded by nothing but flat sand is a great way to have the attackers leave the server and never come back. It's the closest thing 2042 has to hell in a map.
I'm pretty sure if you get killed by anything made by Keltec, you get sent to the 9th realm of hell. Like, what the fuck is that?
You go to Floridian hell.
Floridian
hell
is just Tampa.
Floridian hell is just hell with his high skill cap.
That's the higher gear score.
You go to ranked hell.
There's skill-based damnation?
Yeah.
What's the gear score requirement at Daytona?
Just like I've been saying the whole video, when DICE does it well, they do it really well. These are clearly talented people. Like Eureka Harbor from Bad Company 2, look at that shit, dog. Cash money.
Damn.
Let's go.
Direct impacted, baby. All right.
So that's actually, that statement right there is a reflection of the Frostbite engine, what people have said. When the Frostbite engine wants to do something, it will do it very, very well. It's like a race car in that sense. When you want to force the Frostbite engine to do something it doesn't want to do, it will not do it well. So that right there, that understanding I've had for a number of years. I mean, we talk about this since Battlefield 3, right? That understanding of the engine, that reflects in this philosophy that he's saying. That when Battlefield wants to do something well, it does it well. But if it, other things, when it doesn't do well, it doesn't do well. So it's interesting to see a parallel there. And I wonder if there's a deeper, actual, design philosophy element to that.
All right.
But when they do it poorly, they do it really poorly. Like Battle of the Bulbs from 1942, why the hell did they bring that abomination back?
Yay! Let's run across this open field.
A lot of these complaints are ones that I've had since I started playing Battlefield. Like the maps have always been hit or miss. The latency since Battlefield 3's version of the Frostbite game engine has always been kinda ass. I know that Battlefield has very large maps with very large player counts, which comes with a serious demand on servers, but the sensation of lag, latency, or what feels like constantly getting shot around corners is something I have hated for over a decade.
Oh, that's a tank. That's a tank. That's a tank. Oh,
yeah.
God, the same Battlefield thing that has been in there forever where you're like 86 feet around a corner and you still die from packet latency? That fucking sucks, dude. Oh my God, dude.
Dialing it back a little here, 2042 may be flawed and disappointing because it could have been so much better, but make no mistake, it's still incredibly fun. There is so much interesting shit you can do in this game that anytime I was lacking on fun, I was usually lacking on imagination. Whip out the Rorsch MK4 railgun that fires a metal rod with no bullet drop into someone's melon and tell me this game isn't fun.
I swear, shit still hurts.
Yes,
Nice.
I got it with the railgun off the damn
So good.
quadrocopter.
Cat, I hope you like watching LMG camping.
Oh my God, you were not kidding, dude.
Yeah, like that.
It does everything.
Yes, baby,
no
that's
false
what I want
advertising.
right there.
My quest for more silly shit to have fun with eventually brought me to the 40mm grenade launcher, which I've always found fun. Taking a munition that is designed to explode for area of effect damage and using it as nothing more than a comically large bullet to punch people with really dialed up my enjoyment of 2042.
I kind of want to see if I can direct impact.
Well, he's
like
downstairs, half HP.
Yes, I can, baby. Oh my God.
Who's honking they horn
Who's
at me?
smacking a metal pipe right now?
Oh, I accidentally just hit that dude in the mouth with an HE. I was trying to blow up the building that he was in, and I hit him in the face.
This strategy of bringing a 40mm bullet to a 9mm gunfight is much easier in the Portal mode with Bad Company 2 because they'll give you like 6 of them, but it is still possible in Vanilla 2042. On the Scar-looking farm goal, they'll give you a single 40mm fragmentation grenade, and one of those suckers is all you need.
I hate how it's pronounced Q instead of Quayway. Like, you can't have that many UEs, and not have it pronounced Quayway.
If I ever died to him in a video game,
Nice. Oh my God.
Then I got an unexpected buff from Twitch chat when they told me that if you put on the armor-piercing 40 mils, you get 2 of them, to which I responded, say no more.
bang. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted right there. And bang. Yes, double.
Good to see that outside of Modern Warfare 2, all these years later, NoobTube strats are just peak. This game speaks to me.
You're so goated, chat. This is why I play on Twitch instead of not on Twitch.
For those of you that haven't come out to one of my very few and far between Modern Warfare 2 streams, I will enter multiplayer lobby, those that aren't modded and don't have it disabled, and at random, I will just throw on my my grenade launcher, right? M4A1 with grenade launcher. Oh man, I watched the entire lobby devolve into noob tubes. It's like a virus. The one person starts the noob tube, everybody goes into noob tube. I love it. It is such a degenerative game state, and it's kind of this weird gentleman's rule.
There we go, baby. Yes, baby! baby! Holy shit! Same dude. Oh my god. Yes, sir. Double kill, baby. Oh my. Yo, I gotta revive you now.
And if punching someone in the chest with an armor-piercing round designed for reinforced steel wasn't enough, I then found out that smoke grenades were just as deadly, and you know I love taking the label non-lethal as a personal challenge.
Come here, Doug. Come here, Doug. Come here, Doug. Yes! Yes, it worked!
Nice!
That's perfect, that's perfect. With the smoke grenade. Baby! Baby, another double kill? Spawn on me. Somebody spawn on me, please.
Fucking God, dude.
Boom. Oh, right in the ass, dude. Give me some smoke, baby. Give me some smoke. Who's got the smoke? We want the smoke. Yes, I got her, dog. Yes, I'm out of here.
My slippery slope of using explosive ordnance like a single-shot muzzleloader inevitably led me to the RPG, because if it's good enough for a tank, it's good enough for your chest.
Yeah. Nice.
Absolutely fucking fried, dude.
Wow.
No way. That was like Simone Biles in Paris. What the Oh, this.
I feel like he's playing on controller with how he moves. He's making such minor adjustments. Like I could definitely see him making movements with the right D-pad or right control stick. I really wonder what he's using.
So disrespectful, dude. That's so disrespectful. Put down a whole ass cannon off of a misclick. I'm following this asshole.
Saw him go up.
No, it's gas. No, it's gas.
Nice. Committed.
Such a stupid tactic, dude, but it's so much fun. Oh my god, it's so much fun. That's crazy.
And wouldn't you know it, in the middle of my RPG rampage, chat reminded me that a rocket launcher is lethal from both ends. And the only thing better than vaporizing bad guys with backblast is doing it on the classic Bad Company 2 map, Eureka Harbor. Absolutely peak Battlefield.
Yo, check us out, chat. Check us out. We're gonna backblast. Yes, it worked, baby. It worked. It's very funny. Backblast. Oh, I got it. I got him.
So good.
I thought I got a double for a second. Wait, let me get a double backblast. Double backblast, baby. That's what the single mother hears when she's getting evicted in Animal Crossing.
Like, I'm so sorry, bestie, but you have to get the fuck off my island.
Oh my god, I accidentally just hit a dude that hopped out. That was...
Dude actually Mr. Presidented. Oh my god. Mr. President, get down! Takes the RPG.
Nuts.
Tom Nook,
oh my
the landlord
god.
special.
This dude jumped out right as I ripped the trigger and he ate that RPG. I blew his shit smooth off.
That had me crying laughing the other day. Mr. William, my pet has stopped eating. What should I do? Blow his head smooth off. I clearly have texted the wrong number. I'm sorry.
That's so barbaric. Recommend that. How did that guy get a license? This is a Battlefield 2442 backblast moment if I've ever seen one.
Yeah,
Yes, I got him. I got a double kill with a single backblast. No way.
The final stretch of my 2042 experience was trading in the RPG for the SRAW missile launcher, and you guys gotta tell me if I'm weird. Am I weird for loving soft launch systems that thunk out the missile, then ignite the boost propellant a few seconds later like this? I could not stop talking about how incredible I find this technology, but the homies didn't seem too jazzed. They were...
Dude, I love it. The javelins have constantly fascinated me for years. I look at it and I look at how it operates. It's just endless wonder and entertainment. It's fantastic.
Much more interested in making fish jokes the entire time.
Put rod wave on the car.
Oh my god, right in the face, dog. I love the way that rocket engine kicks in, even though it's a missile. I know it's a missile. I know it's a missile. I know.
This swimmer talking about, I'm gonna find land before you. Yeah, sure.
Awful.
Here we go, baby. Right in the head.
Wow.
Oh, I got him. Oh my god, I hit him right in the knees.
Wow.
Oh my god, that's so savage.
Wrapping on up here, 2042 is a very flawed game, but I still had a ton of fun with it, and it's significantly better than it was 3 years ago. With all of this in mind, I'm just excited to see what the next one looks like, because as much as my mind tells me not to get excited about the next Battlefield, my heart will always be excited about the next Battlefield. And with that said, I cannot thank you enough for hearing me out and watching this video. It was a blast to make. I learned so many new skills behind the scenes, and it allowed me to do nothing but think deeply and write about Battlefield for days on end.
upload the behind the scenes on Vimeo, you dumb fuck.
I also stumbled across some of my older Battlefield 5 footage from 2020 where one of you in the military told me what was happening on your base, and it made me want to say God bless America.
That's ridiculous, D-Rez. I'm active Army, 1/3 of the way done through my 6-month AIT training. On our base, there's been Marines that have tackled deer and put PT belts on them.
Look, you got to keep those deer safe. First off, I appreciate that's the Marine Corps doing this. You know, just for the bit, I got like 10 PT belts off Amazon. I shall become PT man at some point. I will be impervious to all damage. I will become the perfect being. Not even time will decay this mortal coil.
So it was a bright idea to fund this video. My cousin and I made t-shirts dedicated to the heroes, making sure that all deer on military bases glow in the dark. They'll be on sale as a pre-order for the next 2 weeks and shipped to your door in about 3 to 4 months to make sure that anybody that wants one can buy one and that we don't sell out. If you're not a t-shirt guy, you can do me a solid by buying Guacamole Gamer Fart 9000, the greatest energy drink in the world, my swamp-ass soup that definitely doesn't taste like poop, and using code BADGER on your order will get you 10% off everything.
I saw in chat, damn, Badger, do you have diarrhea because you can't stop shitting on gamers? It's such a base. All right, I guess it's funny.
You're laughing, ain't you?
I am laughing.
Yeah.
And if you completely hate physical products, you can support my videos just by using my creator code on Fortnite or the Epic Games Store, so that somehow, some way, Epic will make me a character in that silly-ass game.
Insomniacs be like, picture of a bed? Ain't happening, buddy.
A final shout-out to my homies for helping me make this video. Not only will their links be down below, but plenty of them also have GamerSubs codes. So if you thought anybody was especially entertaining, you can use their code on anything GamerSubs related to land them a commission and get 10% off your order, which is a powerful thing if you ask me.
In like 4 months, I put on that new French Montana. My daughter takes her first steps to walk over and turn that shit off.
Oh my god.
Oh hell no! Your ass is tweaking. Who shoot me?
Oh hell yeah,
John Fortnite.
You're the goat.
Shut the fuck up, dog.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, hell yeah, Jigsaw.
I'm not sure how I feel about this one, Jigsaw. Why is...
Oh, that's a lot of them.
Having no context into what you're doing is great. It's great.
Money can't buy you happiness, believers, when I show them gambling and alcohol.
If I is it fan enough?
The feeling when an MF says sour cream is a seasoning, like he ain't about to get verbally abused by everyone else within 25 feet.
This is me when I dare say that I put mayonnaise on my Costco hot dog. Actual fact.
And that's about it, dog. Sorry, I'm kind of sick. It sucks. Thank you so much once again for watching my video. Thank you to Kiana for hand making me this seal,
so cool.
which is just absolutely insane. And be sure to tune in next time when I might just fuck around with Unreal Engine 5. Nice.
What a banger video. What an absolute treat. So to clarify, I'm on vacation right now, but obviously a Badger video comes up, I want to watch it. And I figured, hey, people are going to want much more action, so therefore, this is why this is out. But like, this was fantastic. There's a lot of negativity going on around YouTube right now. There's a lot of stuff going around, a lot of allegations being made against certain people about some certain serious topics. And you know what? This is the content I'm on YouTube for. This is the content that I think needs to be pushed a lot more. So you know what I'm going to do? After I finish this, right? After I'm going to start converting this, I'm going to download 2042. And I'm going to have fun on vacation with 2042. I'm going to see if the Dead Space skin's still available or not, because, you know, I'm a Dead Space diehard. And I'm going to put this video on in the background. And if I have to loop it 10 times, I want to do what I can for my part in the algorithm. Because this is the content that I think YouTube needs more of. I think that we need to be way less just serious allegations against certain people that are unfounded. I think we need a return to just... This was a different era of YouTube. This is amazing. And I can't ever state how much I love Badger videos and how great of a creator I think that he is. And I know that I ruin these videos because this is easily like double the length of the video. I understand that. I do recommend that you go check out his original video. I do have this original video as well as his channel link down in the description. I'm going to try to link from his description as many people as I can. Much like Lythra. It's not. I always get mixed up. I apologize. I really suck at words. I want to try to make sure that as many people as possible are signal boosted. I thought this was fantastic. I think that this made my vacation a lot better. I think that this was absolutely next level, and I want to see content like this rewarded on the platform, as negative and depression spirally as YouTube can be at this point, and especially with how they can kind of shift the goalposts on some of their policies and stuff. Definitely go check out Badger. That is me asking, please go check out Badger, right? I don't want to mobilize an audience, but if there's one thing that I could do, please go check out Badger. He deserves so much, and he has been really inspirational. And I'm sad that I feel like I ruin a lot of his videos with my consistent pausing and adding on stuff. And, you know, I look up to Badger, but even then, I'm someone who's been fairly negative. So it's a good reminder as to why we need to be rewarding good creators on this platform, why we need to be looking at the people who are making a difference, who are being that positivity, being the, I don't care if it's good, it's fun, and rewarding it rather than, you know, just burying them in an avalanche of just negativity. So thank you everyone for watching. Go check out Badger. Go watch his video. See you in the next one.